and welcome back to the first official FIDE man versus machine match. This match played to a draw, to a tie. This last game, after 6 grueling games, this last one played to a tie. Jeremy is going upstairs to get an interview from Garry Kasparov. We will be reporting from him in a minute on the 12th floor of the New York Athletic Club. But I got to tell you, Yaz, here I am with Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan. Yaz, this has been a very dissatisfying finish. We're surprised that the game ended so peacefully. A draw is a natural result in chess, but an agreed-on draw just doesn't sound right, especially in the deciding game of the World Championship. And when it's not being played to a finish like we saw today, there you just have the feeling that, gosh, we're being cheated from the excitement of a 6th game, of a World Championship. All I can say is I like Gary's position. He was unduly pessimistic, offering a draw the way he did, first having it declined and then having it returned. Very dissatisfying. It's disappointing. I congratulate both of the players, but boy, I'd love to see them say, okay, now the match is a draw. Let's go and play out this position, because I think the position still favors black. It's clearly full of life, and you know, as grandmasters, one of the weaknesses of our sport, I think, is the possibility of that draw, because the fans have a little bit of trouble understanding real draws that are fought really all the way, just attacking, crazy game, and then the game ends in a draw, versus a draw that's agreed on by the players that decide, you know, let's not fight this one out. It just almost feels like you just didn't have that passion for the battle. I realize Garry had a lot on the line, but I don't think he's proven anything by drawing this match. Agreed. The only sport that compares is soccer. In soccer, this is a very, very tough sport to score a lot of goals. You often see a lot of ties, and what soccer introduced was a tiebreaker. Well, we have tiebreakers in chess. You can play what we call rapid chess or blitz chess, where the players are forced to move faster and faster. If we introduced a tiebreaker like that into this match, well, it's really favorable to the computer, because 3 million moves a second. The human player needs more time. So if the human player knows that a tiebreaker would force a fast, sudden death kind of game, Garry might have played this position on. So yeah, there's got to have to be something done about that, I think, in order to fix that. Well, we do have Jeremy upstairs live with world #1 player Garry Kasparov.
Maurice Yasser, thank you very much. Up here on the 12th floor, Garry Kasparov still analyzing his position. The grandmasters down on the 9th floor, Garry, they want to know why, with what seems to be a favorable position to them anyway, you've decided to draw here.
Yeah, objectively, I think I was slightly better, and obviously against any human player would continue pressing to win the game. But it's not just a single game. It's the last game, the 6th game of the match. And unlike a machine, I can't forget 5 previous games. So the final game was a very tough challenge. It also had very dangerous reminiscences with 97 match, when it was also equal score before the last game and I lost. So I had one item in my agenda today, not to lose. So that's why I wanted to be absolutely safe. And you know, with time pressing on and with position is still complicated, I decided, you know, it would be wiser to stop playing, because, you know, 5 other games, they are in my head, while my opponent machine doesn't know, doesn't care about what's happened before and what's happening now.
Garry, that's interesting what you said. Why is it more important to you not to lose than to win?
Okay, today it was win, lose or draw. So every result of the game will be decisive for the match. And of course, for a human player to play under such conditions, it's a terrible burden, because even if I'm having good winning chances, it's one mistake. And it's all one mistake, and when you play with human opponent, you can always expect this, you know, the favor to be returned. You know, our game is full of mistakes. Well, here, you know, if I make one really bad mistake, it will be over. And I thought it would be more important not to lose, because the only loss in this match was a result of terrible blunder. So there was no single game when machine won it very convincingly by just outplaying me. So one lost. Terrible blunder in just one move away from a draw. So that's why I'm quite satisfied with this performance.
Your loss to Deep Blue in 1997 was arguably one of the 3 or 4 most famous matches in the history of chess. It had obviously a significant impact on your self-esteem at that time. How heavily did it weigh on you as this match progressed?
Well, it's not only about me, it's about the public, it's about general perception. Everybody talks about this match and comparing it to the Deep Blue match, while I think these matches are very, very different. There's a profound difference. Deep Blue match was a part of so-called mythology, because nobody could see the machine, nobody could verify the decisions it's made, nobody knew anything about the way this machine was conducting its operation. While now, with Deep Junior, there's a full access to the computer screen, there is an expert committee, and every move made by Deep Junior can be scrutinized, and even after the game I go to my room, I have a smaller version of Deep Junior on a less powerful computer, and I can reconstruct virtually every move. So this is a very important step forward, and I think it was a great accomplishment by FIDE, International Chess Federation, just to step in as an independent broker to create a committee of the independent experts and to guarantee that the match is fully supervised and everybody could enjoy the full grasp of its scientific and social importance.
Unlike Deep Blue, Deep Junior did not defeat you in the match. Is Deep Junior, though, a superior computer?
It's a little bit of speculation because, as I said, we have no information about Deep Blue. So Deep Blue played his 6 games and then retired and was dismantled. So that's why we can only look at these games played by Deep Blue in New York in '97. And if we compare these games to the Deep Junior today, it's very clear that Deep Junior is a stronger program. And I also have to congratulate the Israeli programmers, Shai Bushinsky and Amir Ban, that did a superior job. Deep Junior, I think it's a significant step forward in developing chess software. It's the first program ever that could consider playing without material, so it could sacrifice material for other non-material factors. And that's why I think Deep Junior is so far the best program ever existed.
Garry, thank you very much for joining us. Garry Kasparov drawing with Deep Junior in this first annual FIDE World Man vs. Machine Championship. I want to thank our expert analysts, the Grandmasters, Yaroslav Sarawan, and also, of course, Maurice Ashley for joining us. Now we will join Seasons of Change, which is already in progress on ESPN. Again, Garry Kasparov drawing in this 6-game match with Deep Junior, the computer programmed by the Israelis Amir Ban, Shai Bushinsky, and assisted in that effort by the Israeli Grandmaster Boris Alterman. A significant moment in the history of chess. Garry Kasparov telling us here that he wanted a draw because he simply did not want to lose to a computer for the 2nd time in his storied and historic career. Good night from New York.